Hi Earthling, I'm Therese. Want to know if acting as if really works? Want to know how to use it in your life to make money roll to you without all the struggle? I'm going to tell you 2 real life stories, how these people used acting as if to build their entire fortune of millions of dollars, and how you can do it too. I'm going to make a big claim here. This video is fun and interactive, and if you play along, you will see the secret key to make acting as if work for you. So when you're watching, do 2 things. 1, place yourself in the story. I'll try to help you with that. And see what you would do. And second, and this is the most important thing, after you listen to both stories, ask yourself, what's the one thing that they both did that made acting as if effortless and is really the source of why it works so well for them? Before we get started, I wanted to give credit where I got these stories from. I got them from Think and Grow Rich. Although they didn't say act as if, as soon as I read it, I realized that's exactly what they were doing. So if you haven't read it yet, pick it up. It is so choice. I underestimated. When I said made millions in the intro of the video, I was wrong. This gentleman's net worth is currently at $4 billion. And I'm going to show you the genesis of how it all started by acting as if. Now, this guy's super famous in America, so if you know this story or if you can guess who he is, write it down in the comments below. But really, this story is about you. So put yourself in this story. Ask yourself, would you be willing to do this for your dream? Okay, you're fresh out of college and you want to be a movie maker. And you're taking one of those tourist rides of the Hollywood studio tours. You sneak off the bus and hide behind 2 sound stages till the tour is over. Then after you're done looking around and you walk out of the gates, you make a very specific point to talk to the guard, have a little bit of a conversation with him, and leave. The next day, you come back dressed in a suit with a briefcase and just wave to the guard like your old friends walking on in, and the guard assumes that you are a young buck with an intern at the studio that summer. And you continue to do this for 3 months. While inside the studio lots, you find an empty office, and you're so ballsy, take a piece of paper and make a little name plaque and put it on the door. Then you go on to befriend as many actors, producers, directors that you can, including the head honcho of the television division named Sid. And you convince him to take a look at your short film that you produced in college. And he loves it and signs you on to make your first motion picture. Now, who lived that real life dream? Steven Spielberg did that. He pretended that he was supposed to be on the set, that he was entitled to be there. Could you do that? Does part of your mind say, well, that is trespassing? That's lying. That's not his office space. That's private property. Does your mind bubble up all the pieces of feedback? Or maybe you're saying, that was a long time ago. Things are so much different now. You just can't sneak onto the set and not get arrested. That's what our mind will do to keep us from acting as if and living our dreams. It's called resistance. When you act as if, you have to take a leap of faith. You have to believe that is your destiny to be there. Why it worked for Steven Spielberg, and probably not 99 of the other people who might have tried it, is because he believed in the core of his being that that is where he was supposed to be. And even after his first feature film was not a box office success, he still was raging with inner confidence and convinced the studio heads to let him, a newbie, direct Jaws when it was already slated to be given to a different, more established director. All this inner confidence and faith in himself allowed him to brazenly act as if. And I really loved how in Think and Grow Rich, they said, well, how do you get that insane faith? And they were pretty honest about it. You actually have to program your subconscious mind by putting it there yourself. As you're going to sleep at night, listen to affirmations of confidence, of faith, of abundance, how everything always works out for you. And when you wake up in the morning, just as your peepers are opening up, celebrate that same fact. Welcome, world! Now remember this story, because as I tell you the next story, there is going to be a secret parallel that they both have that is the essential element to make it work for you. Now this second story I picked because his name is virtually unknown to us. He started at the bottom with nothing but a desire in his heart and the will to act as if. Let's put ourselves in his shoes and tell this story as if we are living the part. Imagine you are young, just starting off your career, but you have no means, no money, no education, no family ties, nada. The only thing that you have is a burning desire to be a business partner of one of the famous men in the entire country, Thomas Edison. And you can't shake this feeling. So you decide and declare to yourself, I shall become business partner of Thomas Edison, and we will do business together. What that business is, I have no idea, but this is going to happen. Now there's two difficulties in your way. First of all, Thomas Edison is super famous. Second of all, you don't know him, and you don't know anybody else that you know that knows him. Second, you don't have train fare to even get to where he lives in Orange, New Jersey. But that doesn't stop you. You decide this is your destiny, to be in a business partnership with Thomas Edison, so you decide to go blind baggage, which essentially means you take the freight train and you go to Orange, New Jersey, and you knock on Tom Edison's door and you tell him your desire. Thomas Edison, I am here to become a business partner with you. And guess what everybody else did around? Laughed. Thomas Edison didn't laugh. He actually spoke about that moment several years later. He said he could see the look and conviction in your eyes that you were determined to work for him. He gives you a job sweeping his floor and other menial tasks. And years zip on by. 2 years pass before the opportunity presents itself. Thomas Edison is just overjoyed because he has just created the Edison dictating machine. And even though Edison was overjoyed about it, all his sales employees were not. They didn't see how it could be a commercial success. And this is where you swoop in and say, I will sell the dictating machine, and go on to sell millions of dollars worth all over the country, ultimately becoming a partner of Edison. This is the story of Barnes. And although you might not know his name because this happened in 1905, he got his wish, his burning desire. It is like picking Bill Gates and saying, I want to go into business with Bill Gates. That's exactly what it's like doing today. Do you think you could have done that? Would you have been willing to sweep the floors for 2 years without so much as a hint of, when are we going to go into business together? Have you ever done this? I'll give it a try for 6 months, and if nothing happens, then I'll try something else. That's what made acting as if so effortless for Barnes. It wasn't a waving fancy. It wasn't like a come and go kind of thing. It was a burning desire to make this happen, regardless of his current circumstances. He was dressed like a bum. He was penniless. He didn't have any education. He didn't even have a business idea. That mattered not. He was crystal clear that he was going to be a business partner, Thomas Edison. Now, what is the secret sauce that made acting as if so profitable for these two men and for you if you apply it? They put themselves in the position to succeed. They put themselves in the place where acting as if helped them. Of course, it's important to act as if when you're at home doing your dishes, but if Steven Spielberg just did that only in his imagination, do you think he would be where he is today? It's really, really simple. All you do is you pick your desire, like me. My desire, YouTube star. So I have to be on YouTube. I just can't sit and wish to be a YouTube star without making any videos. I put myself in the place to succeed. And this works for anything. When I wanted to start my financial planning business, remember, Therese had a bachelor's of fine arts in fashion. But I decided I am going to be a financial planner. And I went and heard this financial planner in the area who was very successful speak. And she had $5 million net worth clients and above. And I'm like, I want her to mentor me. So I wrote her a letter. I noticed that she was left-handed. So on the outside of my letter, I said, did you know that only 10% of the world is left-handed and only 3 of those 10% are women? And she called me. I really think it's because what I wrote on the outside of the letter rather than what I wrote on the inside. But the inside was valuable too. I said 2 or 3 things that I really loved and learned from her during her speech. Of course, I presented that I would love to work with her because I wanted to follow in her footsteps. Now, did she give me a job as a financial planner? No, she did not. I had no experience. She hired me as the secretary. Did I take it? Hell yeah, I did. I was so excited because acting as if does not feel at all like you're pretending when you're working in that environment. My desire was not necessarily to do financial planning work at Jerry's office. I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be as successful as her. If I'm your secretary and I'm sitting right next to you, I'm gonna see all the cool things that you're doing so that I can do them myself. And that's exactly what happened. The only thing that you have to do is to be crystal clear about what you want. Whether it's a YouTube star, a financial planner, a movie maker, it matters not. It's the clarity of your desire that will lead you to plop yourself in a reality that supports you easily acting as if. So I have a question for you. Have you tried acting as if? How did it turn out? Write your story in the comments below because sharing your magic is a gift to all of us. And until next time, ciao!